stupid.
Yeah, Cuddy. So let me ask you this: being as somebody who makes music and somebody who wants to, in a sense, be, get your music out. I ain't gonna say be in the industry because there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but how do you feel about like a lot of the weird stuff that's going on? Like do you, not even just that, like nowadays, not even just that. Nowadays, we gotta like, you almost have to be a character before you're a rapper. Does that make sense? Like, people want to know so much about you that they don't really even care about your music for real, unless you're like one of these star, So does that change like your outlook on it, or like does it change your method of dropping music? Like,
it hasn't checked, but I feel like once I start getting more consistent, that's crazy you asked that too. Remember, little bro was just saying that, like, bro, it's your image. He's like, I can rap. It's all about the image, and he really made sense. Like, he really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I understand. I hear you 100%.
I got you. Going off, just looking at the dynamic of the whole industry, just everybody rapping right now. Like, being a character, and it's not even a character, it's a personality. People want to see what you're like outside of the music. And that's been going on for, if you go back to Tupac, after he did that movie,
I don't necessarily agree. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm saying after he did that movie with where he was like, I'm not trying to say it, where he was like trying to be a gangster, where he was being a gangster. What's the movie?
Talking about Juice?
Yeah. After that movie, he portrayed to be that, and then I wouldn't say his music took off, but he's like I
wouldn't necessarily agree with that, because if you listen to Tupac early and you understand Tupac's background, Tupac's born into rebelcy, meaning his mom and them were Black Panthers. So he's born into being anti establishment.
No, but I'm saying, but after he did the movie, look at his whole image change.
Yeah, but he also was around different people at that time too. You gotta think, after he did that movie, he also signed to Death Row, and Death Row's image was gangster. So I think
like
that
if he did do that movie, it wouldn't have, like.
I think that if he would have never signed to Death Row, it wouldn't have been there. He would have never did that ever. Because I think Tupac, no disrespect to Death Row, but I think Tupac in a sense was bigger than Death Row, bro. Because Tupac had a message, nigga, that was deeper. Oh, damn, I keep saying. Tupac got a message that was deeper than what a lot of other rappers were rapping about. Everybody's rapping about cars, drugs, hoes, and boats, and whatever. And he was rapping about other things. Yeah, he was rapping about that shit too, but a lot of the stuff he was rapping about was way different.
Yeah, I think you're right, bro. In my life, I think it's starting to. I think once I start being more consistent with it, and more fans start tapping in, then that's when they're gonna start asking questions like, bro, how come you ain't going live? How come you're not? And that's when it's gonna force, like, music is gonna force people, though. They're gonna wanna, you know what I mean? It's just unfortunate that nowadays you gotta be on some whole other shit, a whole other stuff to even get some attention. But as far as me, bro, when you love music, bro, and I'm gonna stand in that, bro. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do music regardless whether I get on
or you don't,
whether I don't, whether 10,000 people listen to, whether it's one person listen to me, because I love music and I write for me. I write for, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't. It's you really can't explain it when you really love it. Like,
writing is your therapy.
Exactly, bro. So if I do, like, oh shit, some money get involved, and it's like, oh shit, hella money. And then you gotta try to drop music to stay in this type of image. That wouldn't be for me. And that's kind of like with artists that did that, like that got out of labels where it's like, but that wasn't. They was trying to mold me into
a lot of artists are like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of artists won't tell the truth and say that. There's a lot of big artists right now. I'm not gonna say no names, but we know who they are. That you're not necessarily those guys, because if you were by yourself, you wouldn't be this. Oh, that I'll fight anybody. You wouldn't be that person. You'd be quiet.
And like, another thing too, when you go back to the entertainment thing, that was on my mind before I forget. But how important, this is how important the entertainment business is. I was listening to Farrakhan. He was doing the old school ass interview. He was doing the old school interview, and he was like, for the Million Man March, because people don't understand how deep the Million Man March was.
Mm-hmm.
A million, not just a million men, a million men actually, mm-hmm. but a million people came together for a march.
Mm-hmm.
He said that it wouldn't have happened if BET mm-hmm. wouldn't have broadcasted on their network. Mm-hmm. So the person who owns BET right now, they're more corrupt.
It's a white family.
Exactly, yeah. It's a white family. Mm-hmm. But before that, when it was 106 and all that,
I can't think of what his name is. I think his name was like Bruce something.
Exactly, I forgot his name. But the way he broke it down, he's like, bro, they amplified the black. Mm-hmm. Imagine if we had that. Imagine if BET was just like, we're having all the black people mm-hmm. in your city. You don't gotta come to New York. You don't gotta come to where we're at. But all the black people in your city go downtown mm-hmm. and just just sit down. Mm-hmm. That's cold, bro. That's I can touch a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, but you know why black people can never be on code together, and this is unfortunate to say. And if you feel it differently, you know what I'm saying. You hit me up, you know what I'm saying, Cutthesemantics, that's my email, you know what I'm saying, excuse me, Cutthesemantics206, that's the email, hit me there, comment, whatever, we could debate about it, you know what I'm saying, we could talk about it, we all humans, you know what I'm saying, I'm not saying that I am the best or I am the most golden or whatever, but the reason why that is because us as black Americans, we don't have no culture, so our culture is entertainment. And it's unfortunate to say that bluntly, but that's why if you ask most black people who is their idols, it's either a hooper, an actor, or a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, some type of athlete or some type of, you know.
That person that's on TV or something.
Yeah, it's like.
Crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, J. Cole said some real, like, he said, shout out to Uncle Phil, because that's the only dad I know. A lot of people, that's their case. Like, they didn't have a daddy in the house, and it's crazy. But that bar is crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You feel me? Like watching Fresh Prince, that was your daddy figure. That's how you kind of. And a lot of people, it's unfortunate because of everything else we've been through. Because I'm just saying this as black people as a whole, we have been through slavery. We have been through Jim Crow. We have been through through slavery before Jim Crow. There's a civil war that we fought in, so that's another thing. And then you know what I'm saying, apartheid, all that extra shit, yeah. And then all the racism that's been going on, and then on top of that, you have feminism that has directly attacked our family unit, being the strongest unit to make a culture or make a community is family. So they have turned us against our women and women against us, and we're better than them and they're better than us. And really, it doesn't make any sense because we need each other. Like, it's not about who needs who. You might need me more. I might need you more in certain areas, but that's why it's yin and yang. Everything's not going to be a 50-50.
Exactly, man.
So when you have that, and then like I said, we don't have a culture. We African Americans, the ones that's from America, that your family was in slavery, we don't know nothing but slavery. After slavery, it's like a zero. Some people say my family's from Swahili or Jamaica or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's fine. But I'm saying us as a whole, we don't have a culture. There's nothing we can go back to and go look at like, oh, this is how we're supposed to be. And then you mix that in with religion and everything else. There's 90 different religions, and us as black people, we believe in all of them. There's Christians, there's Muslims, there's Israelites, there's motherfucking 1%ers, there's Jewish black people, there's people that are there's a 90, and it's a bunch of other you know what I'm saying, that doesn't really equate to, some of this doesn't equate to us, bro, like in reality. And we're mixed up, bro. And that's why we have these situations where or I have to ask you that question, because if we controlled our culture, that type of stuff wouldn't even be in our culture. That type of stuff wouldn't even be allowed in our culture. And I'm not saying that you can't like who you like and all that, because I know how people misconstrue words, bro. Yeah, and they like to do stuff to try to prove points, and I'm not having that, because we could debate that too. You know what I'm saying? Whoever or whatever. But that wasn't our culture. That wasn't something that we consistently did. So when you bring in some people who are lost, and then you're talking about trauma that's been here since slavery, and then everything I said that we had to go through, that's a trauma that we had to go through, plus your individual trauma as a person. Like, that's a lot of stuff weighing on black people. So we don't know where to go. And a lot of us go straight for the money. That's why you hear the women say you need a bag, or a man be like, I just need a bag. Like, everybody running for the money, trying to get to a better life. In reality, it's not even that.
It's capitalism, bro.
It's crazy, bro.
I think capitalism is one of the biggest things, bro. Like, it's all capitalism. gangs, America.
Capitalism. You know what's so messed up?
Capitalism.
You know what's so messed up?
Yeah.
And it's gonna sound a little crazy because I know people gonna kill me, especially a lot of you Democrats.
More.
Capitalism necessarily not to the extent that it is we're in now, but capitalism is not necessarily a bad thing because it drives up money and it drives up more resources, ideally for everybody. Obviously, the richer takes more of it, and we're kind of screwed. But I'm saying ideally. But even with that being said, like and I'm just saying us as black people, if we had a family unit to where the dad and the mom are working as one, you know what I'm saying? We're underneath the same umbrella. That would be one of the least of our problems because we would come together. We wouldn't have this. Think about this, bro. Jewish people have been through a lot of trauma, have they not? I'm just saying, pure from what we've been taught. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying from I'm talking about from Holocaust to now. Okay, boom. We know Jewish people have been through trauma. I'm not saying who's been through more. I'm just saying been through trauma. Them as a culture, their father and their mother unit, their family unit is not broken down. It's not deteriorated. So over time, I understand they have help by the government and all that. I know what people are going to say. I know. Yeah, but what I'm saying is once you get this money, you have to do something with this money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying what they're doing is right because whatever you want to say, that's your opinion. I'm not trying to make it a political thing right now. I'm just trying to get to the point. But I say that to say how those people built up their community, meaning keeping the money in their community. You know what I'm saying? Like, our money doesn't, as soon as we get some bread, we go spend it with somebody else. We so scared to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I got a cousin that do this. Nah, I don't know. I got a cousin member that do taxes, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go to, you know what I'm saying, H&R Block, or I'm gonna go to da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, even little stuff,
there's nothing that we got to put into our own community, though, bro.
There's a lot of stuff we got, bro. You know how many black businesses there is? You have a business.
I'm talking about black businesses that will be a substitute for what these white businesses are supplying. There's no
bro. There's that's because black people don't consider, and I'm pretty sure because if this gets global, we're talking, or not global. If this gets like country statewide, we're talking. There might be some in smaller regions, or you know what I'm saying. There might be one in Oklahoma somewhere, and there might be one in Atlanta somewhere, or something like that. And shout out to you if that is you. You know what I'm saying, but. We're saying as a whole, you know what I'm saying? But to that point, that's because black people don't invest money into what's important. We invest money into what we like. That's why I say we don't have no culture. Right. Our women spend $9 million. I think it was like the number was like either 40 million or something. I know it was like above $40 million that they spend just on makeup. And I think the number is really 9 billion. If I'm not mistaken, I think the number's like 9 billion, bro. But I'm gonna just say 40 million on the low end. Even that 40 million, think about how much money that would be invested in our culture. If like a lot of women don't need makeup, bro. Y'all think that because y'all looking at social media and following these famous people trying to be them. You want an easy life. This shit's not easy.
That's deep.
You feel me? Like
that's deep for real, man. Because the women, I feel like the women is the ones that's gonna. Because the men are gonna lead the revolution, but the women are gonna lead the women. Listen,
the men lead the revolution, but the women build the revolution. And think about this. Okay. You feel me? The reason why I say that is because us as a unit, we build people, we build culture. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, science. You have a baby. You know what I'm saying? There's more people. I'm saying like. If the father has a certain, and I'm only saying because I know where this goes, bro, and I hate like.
What you mean?
Because when you start talking about the man's supposed to do this, and there's a lot of people that be like, oh man, nowadays men can't lead and they broke and all this extra goofy shit that we do to attack each other because we scared of the truth, and a lot of this shit y'all need to hear. So, back to my point. If the man is leading in a certain direction, we need the women to be the A1 Batman to our, or the Robin to our Batman. Meaning, if I'm saying, baby, we going up here to this right, well, you need to get the kids situated or the community situated to. Okay, well, you heard them. We're going up to the right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ready? Like it comes in one. Like, and I know the leading part again. A lot of women don't want to hear this, and I know it's going to be a long fucking conversation about whatever. And again, I'm here for all the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called Cutthesemantics, or excuse me, Cutthesemantics. You feel me? But I just think that once they broke up the community, they put drugs in it. You know what I'm saying? They took the media, took the man out, put the drugs in it. First they put the drugs in it, then took the man out, then took the media against the man, and then you turn the women. And mind you, all this is after feminism, because we had this conversation a long time ago about feminism and all that. I'm saying this is after this is post-feminism now. So you got all this shit going on, and then you got the little sprinklets of you don't need a man, you don't need a man, you don't need a man, you don't need a man. It's a bunch of shit that, in a sense, you create a society of women that think you don't need a man, you don't need a man. And in a sense, okay, if you want to live alone, then you don't need a man, then if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But we all know that everybody wants somebody, and we're, you know what I'm saying, we're built for that.
And then that pushes the men against...
Then we on some like, man, fuck y'all, it's a bigger, you know what I'm saying? But that's the mindset, because in reality, unfortunately, our and I'm only saying our community, 80% of black kids are born into single, and I think it's like 70. The number's between 70 and 80. I think it's like 79 last time I looked it up, but it could. I'm gonna just say 70 on the low end. 70% of black kids are raised in single parent households.
Yeah, it is 70%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's we just looked that up. That's all I'm saying. So,
that's heavy. Not any other race either. That's black.
Black.
That's crazy.
Only us, and that's why I say women build a community. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't have women that are following the lead of men that are leading, then we have a bunch of mindless kids out here shooting for nothing, doing shit for nothing. Like, everybody want to be a scammer, nobody want to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a rapper, nobody want to be an electrician. Shout out to Citzel. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
for sure.
Yes,
but, you know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question. The women that we're talking about, and the men, these are women. The black women should be with black men.
Me personally, yes.
Okay, yeah. So
let me ask you this. Wait, no, because I ain't gonna pull the Dr. Umar. You gonna try to put me to Dr. Umar? You gonna try to put me to Dr. Umar? Nah. This is what I'm saying though, because what I will say is this. Me personally, I want a black woman.
Straight up.
100%.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But the question I have before I get into this is, why is it always a question when it comes to black men and women? Should we date out? What other culture talks like that? Asians date Asians. And don't get it twisted, because I know the statistics now. A lot of Asian women are starting to date outside their culture a lot. But I'm saying this as
their parents don't agree with
that. And however, whatever's clever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, I wouldn't, or, what. I'm just saying this is, my preference. But also, you got to look at, like you said, 70% of us are not, and I understand how that goes, but if the number's correct, I think 50% or 55% of black men are childless. You know what I'm saying? So that means 40% of kids are responsible for 70% of kids. 40% of men are responsible for 70% of kids, and I think the number is lower than that. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I know that it's less men, more babies. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily us as a culture. I think
we're talking about America.
I'm talking about America.
Okay, yeah.
African American. I'm not talking about Africans.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm talking about African Americans. Shout out to my African partners. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying us that were born in this culture. Our culture is fucked up. Africans can go back to their place and go holler at their peoples, nigga, and understand how they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? We can't. We don't have nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Ours is more jacked up than anybody else's. Yeah, we in an infeud, like we in an infeud about, a person got to make this, or a woman got to be this size, or I got to be this. It's a bunch of goofy ass shit that's going on that in reality, like, true, yeah, we're supposed to be like that, but at the same time, it's like we're really arguing for what? Like, the more we argue, the more we're far apart, the less we're having babies, and that's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think it's supposed to, like, because, yeah, what does that look like, though, bro?
What you mean?
As far as, like, the women being submissive to the man.
I don't like that word. Let me let you finish. No, that's the correct word. Right? But I'm saying a lot of women nowadays don't like that word, submissive.
Well, not submissive, but respecting a man's
that's really what it means.
Respecting a man's desire. And then the man leading the way, like, where's the line? Where's the line to where the females like, nigga, I don't care, like, nah, I don't care. You know what I mean? Because you gotta realize, bro, I come from we all do. We all come from a place where all of our uncles, all of our older people that we looked up to. We don't. I mean, who do we have? Who do we have in any of our families that relationship lasted long? Like, for example, before we can be like, how'd you, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like we really don't even know what it looks like. You know what I mean? So it's like we just know a part of it where it's like, okay, yeah, the women's supposed to do this, and then the man's supposed to do this. But then when we like, you know what I mean? Because it's like that's where the confusion comes in, because you got women that's saying, nah, I ain't never have to grow up like my mom didn't. You know what I mean? My mom didn't have to, because we ain't never.
We ain't never seen it.
But then it goes,
how we gonna be it if we ain't never seen it?
It goes full circle, because it goes back to your point. It starts with the family. We all got exactly. It starts with the family. Period. Point blank.
And that's why I said, excuse me, I was burping. My apologies. When you systematically break down a family unit, that's why we have these end conversations, or these end arguments, where somebody can say that my mom didn't da-da-da. Just because somebody's done something doesn't mean it's right. Just because you went through life a certain way doesn't mean it's right. And I'm not saying that I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I have flaws as a man, just like everybody else has flaws as a person. But at the same time, you're either going to do one or two things. You're either going to hurt yourself with your ego, or you're going to help yourself with your ego. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people hurt themselves because they insecure about shit. And I get it. Don't get it twisted. Take it from me, bro. Being insecure is not something that is easy to deal with. I've been a fat dude my whole life, and I had to deal with life as a fat person. You know what I'm saying? The sneaky comments. I've been called every fat person that you could think of, from Kenan Thompson to Sean Kingston to Fat Trail. He called me Fat Trail all the time. You feel me? Who else? Anybody, man. Whoever I done been Mark Henry's, I done been Viscera's, bro. I done been everything, bro. So
because about having thick skin too, you got thick skin.
100%. I had to. We're gonna fight every day. I'm gonna fight every day. Like this is I'm outside every day. Like
people need to realize you just gotta have
you gotta understand what's going on and be okay with the results of what's you're either gonna build from it or it's gonna build on top of you. So you either got to be okay with that or you're not. Exactly. And a lot of people, like I said, all this shit comes down to insecurity and trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, us as people have trauma already. So now you have trauma. Now, you know what I'm saying? You done been with somebody as men. You know what I'm saying? We think with our dick. We don't think with our head. You know what I'm saying? We don't think up here. We think down here. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying? There's bitches, I need to talk to her. She's bad. I need to pump this. I need to do this. In reality, pussy is pussy. It's all the same thing. The only thing that's different is what it looks like and or what it looks like as in the outside, the shape of the woman. You know what I'm saying? Because pussy's pussy. You're going to bust anyway, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. So you either build from that or you let that build on top of you. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, it got to be bigger than that. And a lot of times these are how some of these kids are being made. A dude just see a woman at a club or in a situation he just want to fuck. They've been fucking for a minute without a condom because black people, we lazy. And naturally, we were just born to reproduce. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We lazy. We just fucking da-da-da-da. You don't even build a relationship with the chick. And now you have to build a relationship with the chick because now you're having a baby with the chick. And then usually that don't work because you guys don't really even know each other. And then that's a whole thing. Now she's looking for another person to take that space that she was looking for you to do, and now you're just moving on to female and now it's just an ongoing cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as a man, especially as a black man, I had to wake up in my ignorance. I had to wake up because I'm not sitting here talking as in somebody that didn't fuck up. Like, nigga, don't get it twisted. Life is a bunch of fuck ups. I'll be the first one to raise my hand, nigga. I fucked up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Still fucking up, and I might fuck up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I know that
that's real, bro.
I know that a lot of the shit that we do is come from trauma and it come from insecurities, bro. And this whole thing. You're right. Shout out to you. The reason why we're having this conversation because I said that it comes back down to our culture and our people and building a reliable society. I mean reliable as in something that we can rely ourselves on. You know what I'm saying? Building within self. We're never ever going to be this whole man versus woman or all this extra shit. We got too much other shit going on, bro. to be arguing with each other. As African American people, since, and I'm only going by their history, since the slavery times, even pre-slavery, like us as black men and black women, we've been like this always. We've never had a problem. Like, it's never been, you know what I'm saying? Like,
now it's. So do you agree with interracial marriage?
do I agree? I can't disagree with that, Cuddy. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not a lawmaker, but what I'm saying, you're saying is like, would I accept it or like, or not even accept it, but like, of course I agree. You can marry whoever you want. That's what I'm saying. But me personally, like I said, I want to marry within my culture. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and I know this is like the same, but they ain't gonna understand you like a black woman gonna understand you. But what comes with that is respect within you and that black woman. Because if she can't respect me, then I can't allow myself to be around and keep being slaughtered as a man. Because what that's gonna do is show my son to be around and let a woman slaughter you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. Your kids are a reflection of you, so I can't allow myself to let anybody, and I'm not using that as any analogy of any, not saying my kid's mom or any, I'm just saying in general, your kids reflect on who you are as a person.
I think I asked the wrong, I asked the wrong question because of course we both want black women, or just psychologically black. The woman has to know that it's the culture. The culture is African. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's my preference. Now, I'm not saying
your son grows up. Your son grows up. He brings a white woman in. My daughter walks. My daughter grows up. She brings a white dude in. What's the conversation? What's the conversation we having?
I want to know what
it's not about race, or
it's not about race to me. It's about culture at that point. Because if you feel like, because your kids, like I said, are a reflection of you. So if I'm at the house doing the shit that I'm doing, higher elevated thinking, pro self thinking, all that extra shit, they're gonna have that in them. Right or wrong, you know what I'm saying. So
either way, they're gonna have
so the white person that they're bringing in has to be within that culture at that point. Meaning, you know what I'm saying. You come from some real shit.
You gotta identify with.
I'm not saying identify because I don't like that term, but I'm saying you gotta. No, I don't like identify because they use it as sex and all this extra shit. Like, I don't want to use identify, but I'm saying like they are within culture. Like, let's example, Jason Williams, White Chocolate, the basketball player. I'm pretty sure if you get around him, he's within culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might not necessarily be like, he's not us, but he at least respects us. And that, a lot of times as black people, that's all we want is respect. We're having this,
That shouldn't be.
But a lot of times we don't get respect from other cultures. That's what I'm saying. That's the only problem that I would have with my kid. Like, if this person's not within culture, what is his parents going to be like? Because I'm not going to go to no wedding and their parents is uppity and, you know what I'm saying, thinking that they're better than us and doing all this extra shit. Like, I'm not finna have that because at that point the wedding's ruined. I'm gonna leave. You know what I'm saying?
Can you believe that there's white people out there that can be within the culture?
I think that can live within the culture and that can be like understanding of the culture. They can't never be black. I'm not saying that. I can't never be a Mexican. I can't never be an Asian. For me, because I love Asian food and I love anime and a bunch of the Asian culture or whatever. I'm just using this as an example. But if I love that, now I'm in their culture. No, that's ridiculous to ever say some shit like that. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, you can definitely be in the respected and you can definitely be understanding of their culture. There's a lot of black men that move to Asia and step into Asian culture, taking your shoes off, bowing, and other different things that they do in different countries and shit. Like, I understand that. So that's what I mean, respecting of the culture. Like, he's not coming in trying to use the N-word and trying to look too tough. He's not trying to be what he thinks black people are. He's understanding of black people and respecting of black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, these people ain't like that. That's the type of person, like, if he's that, I'm cool. Or she's that, you know what I'm saying? Or whoever, you know, I'm cool at that point.
I feel you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think if my daughter ever bring a white person, I'm gonna have to have that sit down. I'm gonna
have to sit down with him.
I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about with her. I'm not gonna sit down with him too. But I'm saying I gotta sit down with her. Like,
of course.
Look. I don't think I'm gonna agree with that. Because I think for some reason we have to push our kids to be with black people in some type of way. some type of way.
You do that within loving yourself and upping yourself and showing your kids your culture outside of just music and entertainment, and show them the love for your culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, our people have made a lot of things happen with music and entertainment and all that extra stuff. But we also invented a lot of stuff. We have a lot of great philanthropists, and you know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was going to get that word. That's crazy. Shout out to me. I didn't think I was going to complete that one. But we have a lot of great thinkers. That's the point I'm making. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good people outside of being somebody who's doing something for a paycheck. You know, so to that point, yeah, Cuddy, I mean, I don't want to push my son away. If he really loves this girl and he feels he loves her, then you got to go through the ups and flows of life. I can't show you how to run through it. You know what I'm saying? I can show you how to run to it, but not through it. You know what I'm saying? So don't trademark that either. If I hear somebody taking that, you feel me? You know where it started from. But
that's real talk, man.
Yeah, I don't know, Cuddy.
We just always, it's just part of the.
I understand what you're saying, though.
You know what I mean?
Because
it go back to being.
You want to love yourself, bro.
Exactly.
You want to look down and see you and your people. You know what I'm saying?
I want my daughter to know that I'm gonna feel bad if you bring.
Don't say feel bad, because you feel me again. That's gonna sound crazy.
No, it's
not.
You know
what I'm saying? That's gonna sound crazy, but
the Asians do it. The what's the names?
But they don't add. That's my question. You see how we're having it, and that makes my point. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. You see how we're having this conversation right now as black people, and it's making even the person that's watching this, or even me sitting here, it's making us both in a sense uncomfortable, because you can't necessarily say something too wrong and you can't say something too right, in a sense of this is right and this is wrong, or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying that to say, like, no other culture gets asked about this. You know what I'm saying? And not at a mass scale, we do. They don't ask Latino people about, why do you want to be with your culture, or why do you want to put your money invest in your culture? We don't ask that. It's just something that's in them, and they just do it, and there's no questions asked, and we don't even think about it. And that's one thing that's wrong with black people, and we have to think about it, because black Americans, our whole culture has been taught to integrate. We need to we need to be everybody, you know what I'm saying? We can't trust, and they think it's just about money. It's deeper than that, bro.
For real, bro.
It has to do with money, but it also has to do with race. All that ties in together. This country was built on racism. You don't think race and money tie in together? That don't even make sense. Oh, they were built on racism, but then they stopped the racism. But we're still the most incarcerated, most killed. They're still in our organs. We're still the most disrespected out of everybody, but this ain't have nothing to do with race. It's just what we're doing.
Did you know that Egypt right now?
Mm-hmm.
The name of Egypt is the United Arab Kingdom or something like that.
Do you know
crazy. Do
you know scientifically Middle Easterns are closer in genetics to white people and Asians than they are Africans? Did you guys know that?
What you mean?
Genetically, they're closer. Our genetics are closest with South, because I hate that they use, and when you go, you conquer, you take over land, you take over people, you take over language. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that to say a lot of our Afro-Latinos, you know what I'm saying, Dominicans, Haitians, even Jamaicans, whatever, you know what I'm saying, because I think Puerto Ricans, there's a bunch of different dark-skinned, melanated Latino people. You know what I'm saying? There's some melanated Asian people. You know what I'm saying? From Filipinos to Fijians and a bunch of different people.
Were you saying that first? We're closer to...
I'm saying genetically.
Closer to
what? Everybody that I just named, the Afro-Latinos and the Afro-Asians and black people and Africans are closer in genetics. And then Asians, white people, which would be Europeans and or Spanish, because if you're technically Spanish, that means your ancestors come from Spain. So if you're Mexican in a sense, and you trace your family back in a sense, your family comes from Spain, that means your family is white. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, if you didn't know that, now you know. You know what I'm saying? So, there's only really a couple of genetics when you really break it down. Really, let's be real. But a lot of people don't understand. Like a lot of Mexicans are natives. They're really Native Americans. But over time, the
biggest because you know the biggest pyramid. Okay, the biggest pyramid is in Egypt. But the because that's as far as like height. But the biggest pyramid as far as footprint is the biggest pyramid they don't talk about is in Mexico. It's the Cholo pyramid, and it's just flat, but it's the biggest, the widest one, and then you can go down. It's crazy, bro. When they
and you know it was built by Africans.
Like, how the fuck? Like I don't. That's just weird.
You know it was built by Africans. Black people were the first people. Black people were the first people to circumvent the globe. If you don't know what circumvent means, go do your research. That means, you know what I'm saying. So, we went to every continent first and created culture. That's why that's what I just named. All these people that genetically are closer to us, the Afro-Asians and the Afro-Latinos, you know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases, not saying all, but I'm saying a lot of cases in both of those really originate from Africa. You know what I'm saying? They're African. That's why if you go to if you go to Fiji or if you Google Fijian people, they look like Africans. They look like black people with nappy afros, just like how we look. 100%.
That shit crazy, bro.
People don't even, you know what's so crazy? People don't even know that Haiti and Puerto Rico is on the same island.
Haiti and what you mean Haiti and Puerto Rico?
Haiti and Puerto Rico is the same island. It's split down the middle.
Puerto Rico's in the U.S.
No, it's not.
You mean
Puerto Rico? No, it's not. No.
Dominican Republic.
No. Puerto Rico. You want to see?
Puerto Rico?
Yes, bro.
But you can go to. You don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico.
Because it's controlled by us. You got a passport to go to Haiti.
You're talking about the DR.
It could be Dominican Republic then. Okay,
DR.
my apologies.
DR, DR. DR. They beef with they trade with each other, but they beef with each other, man. That's
My apologies.
Fucked up, like,
my apologies.
It should be fucked up because the Haitian people was the only people that that rebelled and won, man. Like,
that's why did that like that for a reason.
If I ever come up, man.
What you gonna do?
I'm for sure trying to feed.
You know, if at that point,
I'm trying to go to the Congo. I'm gonna lie to you, bro. Shit that Elon Musk is doing, be one talking about.
Yeah, you're right. It is Dominican Republic. My apologies. I'm gonna exit that out. But Dominican Republic and Haiti is the same island. So if you look at all these islands that we're looking at right now, a lot of these places right here are African because when the people were taking people from Africa, there's a direct line from literally, I think it's like the bottom of like, what is that? The Congo River. It goes into like the Atlantic Ocean, I think, and then that comes all the way down, and it comes down here. And this was one of the first islands that they came to.
They came to in Jamaica too.
Yeah.
This shit crazy, bro. People don't even realize that France, we are like.
A lot of these places are named after people from France. There's an island, I can't think of the name. I'm gonna butcher it, but it's an island outside of Madagascar, bro. That is African people, bro. But it's controlled by the French. It's named after a French person. An actual island. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lady in that South. She's from South Africa. I don't even know. I can't go full story, but she was just talking about it. She had a little lecture. I'm gonna go to it after this. I want to get her name though. I gotta find out. I want to get her name on the podcast, but.